Hello beautiful people, I'm RaishPhoenix, and in today's video we're going to be talking about boundaries. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button and click the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. I want to get a little bit more specific. We're going to be talking about what to do when your boundaries are overstepped. This entire year I've been prioritizing myself, practicing self-love and self-care, and understanding that boundaries are a thing. I can set them and I can have them, but the biggest roadblock I felt in having boundaries is figuring out what to do when they're overstepped. It's like I spent so much time understanding what boundaries are and then kind of dissecting what has happened to me in my life, what has made me feel uncomfortable and why, and then understanding what type of boundary needs to be set so I don't feel uncomfortable like that anymore. And once I've understood the boundaries that I needed, when they got overstepped, that's when I was like, like I freaked out, because obviously boundaries are there for a reason. It puts me, like the boundaries I've had, if they're overstepped, it puts me in a very highly emotional state in which it's very difficult for me to communicate clearly. I get upset. I don't know, it's like I freak out. It's like in that moment I just want to cry in fetal position underneath my bed sheets and not talk to anybody for a very long time, and then it's like I don't know what else to do after that, So I thought it'd be helpful if I would share a few tips on what I did the last time my boundaries were overstepped, and because those things I found have really helped me. The first thing I do once my boundaries are overstepped is I remove myself from the situation. It's definitely most likely possible that you're in a very highly sensitive and highly emotional state, which is going to make it difficult to communicate to the other person what you're going through. And if a solution is going to be reached, I think the best thing to do is to communicate when you're not as triggered as you are in that moment. So figure out in that moment what you can do for yourself, how you can offer yourself the most amount of peace and love in that moment, and just remove yourself from the situation. The next thing is, on top of figuring out what you need in that moment, figure out if there's anybody you can reach out to and talk to about what just happened in a way that will make you feel better. Somebody who is very considerate of your emotions, is able to help you validate your emotions. If you need to cry it out, cry it out. If you need time from that person who triggered you to begin with, take the time you need, just figure out what you can do that is best for you to feel better and to be in a more stable state. The next thing is to write a letter to the person that overstepped your boundaries. So this letter isn't the letter to be handed to them. This is more so for yourself. It's for you to understand what boundary was overstepped, how it made you feel, and what you want in the future from this person in terms of them not overstepping their boundary and being clear about what's expected for you to feel safe, Another idea is also just recording yourself. So I do this a lot where I will record myself on photo booth. I will literally open it up, I'll record on photo booth, and I'll say everything I'm feeling. I'll be like, this person did this, I can't believe they did this, this is how it made me feel, I'm so hurt right now, I need more time for this, that, or the other, and I wish they wouldn't do this. Eventually, after letting all those things out, I reach this point where I'm like, okay, I feel more calm, I feel like my emotions are being clearly expressed, and now I have the clarity to understand what I need from this person in order for our friendship or relationship to work. So the next step is, when it's time and you are in a very calm state, explain to the person who overstepped your boundaries the boundary that was overstepped, how it made you feel, and what you need from them should it happen again. It's safe to say, and I hope to God, that most people don't purposely overstep your boundaries, which means they are completely oblivious to whatever emotions you may be going through at that time. So it's difficult for them to solve or not do something again if they don't know what they did wrong. So I think it's very important to use I statements to be like, I felt like this when you did this, providing that clarity to them will help them understand, okay, maybe I did this with this intention, but unfortunately it made whomever I am speaking to feel this way. Now I understand I did this, it made them feel this way, and instead of doing that, to do this. So when somebody understands how you feel and creating that, that, like bridging that gap for them, really making them understand, you know, this was the no, you know, provide a yes for them. Tell them exactly what you need, you know. I think we have this moment where we feel like somebody cares most about us when they can kind of understand what we need without telling them. But it's like, people aren't mind readers, people aren't psychic, you know, and if they are, God bless their soul, how you doing that? But, you know, if they are, it is what it is. But people need things to be explained to them, you know. We can't expect people to know things without telling them. So it's very important for every no to give them a yes and tell them, hey, this is what is okay. This is what makes me feel safe. This is what will better the situation. Allow this friendship or relationship between us to actually work. Another thing is to give yourself time to feel better again. I realized that even though I've solved the situation and I've done the work to, I don't know, communicate clearly to the other person what I need to feel safe, I still feel off. I feel drained, I feel exhausted, and it's important to just give yourself time in those moments to feel better again, recharge, you know, figure out whatever self-love or self-care things that you need to do to make yourself feel a lot better, and have patience with yourself. You know, I think there are moments where we identify the issue and we identify the solution, but we still feel weird because why don't we feel better? But it's like, you just need time, you know, and allow yourself to have those moments to feel your emotions, know that they're valid, and give yourself enough time to navigate through that. I've spoken about this briefly in other videos, but I'm going to say it again because it's necessary. But there's a difference between accepting somebody and their characteristics and who they are versus accepting their behavior. It's okay to accept somebody for who they are, but that shouldn't mean that your mental health or your physical health or your health in general is negotiable. It's not up for negotiation, you know? It's like, there are certain things that you need in your life to feel safe, and it's important that those needs are met, you know. And for the people who can't meet those needs and hurt you and continue to do these things to you, it's not okay, you know. You should definitely decrease the amount of time that this person or how prominently this person is in your life, because it's unhealthy, you know. Maybe there is somebody out there who can appreciate whatever behavior they have, but it's like, then that person needs to be around the person that appreciates that behavior, because if it's hurting you, you need to communicate that, and you need to know that you deserve better. Like, you shouldn't be around somebody just because you love them and you're accepting of their characteristics doesn't mean that you should accept and endure their abuse or whatever it may be that they're doing to you that's causing you discomfort and pain. Another thing is, it's okay for people to not like your boundaries, you know? I think there's this aspect of setting boundaries, and if it's difficult for you, specifically for me, I have these moments where I feel bad when I set a boundary if the person on the other end doesn't like it. But I think it's important for them to realize setting the boundary means that I'm making an effort to make us work, you know? If I didn't set the boundary, I would have just cut you out of my life and not talk to you ever again, you know? So boundaries, although that they may be like, I don't know, to the person on the, I guess, receiving end is the right way to word it. To a person on the receiving end, if they don't like it, let them know, hey, I'm setting this boundary so we can make this work, you know? Like, there are certain needs that I have as well, and it takes two people to be in a friendship or relationship. So if you can't honor those things, we can't work. And if you value me in your life and you want me in your life, you need to understand that I need certain things to be able to feel safe, you know? So your mental health, your health in general, is not up for negotiation. And if somebody's setting a boundary, it means that they're making an effort to include you in their life. It's just, these are the boundaries that they have. That's it for today's video. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye, guys.